Hello there, my viewers. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button to get notified. Thank you for your attention. Now, enjoy the show. Okay, now we're gonna do another reaction video of Gigguk because, I don't know, I think, well, I guess some people like it or something, but yeah, I mean, I like Gigguk too, and we're gonna do a reaction video, and as the same as before, I'm gonna give my opinion, and right now it's another anime, but it's not an anime that has been, it's actually a long time ago. I've just watched it quite recently, I think, just a few weeks ago, and it's Demon Slayer. Now I've heard people say that it's good, it's exciting and some stuff, but I've never actually tried it until like recently. And yeah, let's see what Giga has to say about this anime.
Something that keeps me coming back to the shonen genre over and over again is the simplistic nature that I've been able to enjoy both as a kid and still now, years later, as a fully functioning, fully grown up kid pretending to be an adult. There's no need for some long convoluted hook like that time I tried becoming president of my ninja village when my best friend had joined Ninja ISIS. Everything you need to know is encapsulated in a nice, short, snappy title. Naruto is about a ninja named Naruto, One Piece is about a grand adventure to find a treasure named One Piece, My Hero Academia is about heroes in academia, and Demon Slayer is about a guy who has a really cute little sister who also slays.
I have to say that Nezuko is just, I don't know, when I like before I've watched the anime, Nezuko was like, I don't get what people say like Nezuko is a waifu, but like the moment I see her as a demon, like in the anime, I was like, damn man, damn, waifu material once again.
Demons. Yes, Demon Slayer was an anime only a few were talking about initially, myself included, but over the past few weeks has turned into a show that has blown me away, and it was surprising to me because it was something that I never thought could or would be this good, at least in the time frame given. And I think a large part of that is thanks to the phenomenal job Ufotable is doing at tackling their first shonen anime. So today I just wanted to take some time to highlight the fantastic work they're doing, and you know, fanboy a little here and there as the shonen trash fuckboy I am. For those unfamiliar to what this show is about, the basic premise revolves around our main character Tanjiro, who comes home one day to find out his entire family has been slaughtered by demons. The only survivor is his little sister, who herself has been turned into a bloodthirsty demon, and so begins his journey to become a demon slayer in order to find a cure for his little sister and protect others from the same tragedy that has befallen him. That's right, a shonen protagonist with an end goal we can finally get behind. Protect the Imoto! If the premise sounds kind of simplistic and straightforward, that's cause it kind of is. But simple and predictable isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some of the best examples in the genre have been titles that have taken the basic foundation and executed it again really well, but with
Now, I have to say that it's very simplistic, as in it's a shonen, so I don't know if other shonen are like very convoluted, but this one is very straightforward. No, I don't think there's no like intrigues or anything, but yeah, like it's very straightforward and like jumps to the point.
Plus, I would feel kind of like a hypocrite for complaining that the shonen formula is too predictable while diving headfirst into my 100th power fantasy isekai based on a fantasy world with RPG elements because, hey guys, this guy has a shield this time! And having said that, my initial impression of Demon Slayer was that it was...
Wait.
good. It wasn't painfully uninspired like the first few episodes of Black Clover, but it was missing that extra oomph to get me really excited about it. The characters were likable enough and the story was sufficient, but the format was a bit too monster of the week for my liking. Crow tells the main character where to go, demon appears, demon gets slain. Crow tells the main character to go, demon appears, demon gets slain, rinse and repeat. It was missing that hook to get me truly invested in the story. There was, however, one outstanding aspect that kept me coming back in hopes that the story could reach greater heights, and that was was thanks to the work of some weirdly shaped furniture. That's right, the missing ingredient was a penis lamp. I mean, UFO Table. It is a good show, but I think UFO Table should be given a lot of credit for managing to take what in my eyes is a solid story for a solid manga and elevating that to give absolutely breathtaking moments. As with any battle shonen, the star of this show is the fights, and not only does it keep the monster of the week format fresh by giving each demon a different power, resulting in no two fights ever playing out the same, but it's also been showing some of the most visually striking action you can find in anime this year. And trust me, I haven't let recency bias cloud my judgment over how good Mob Psycho Season 2 looked, because while Mob had entire episodes filled with eye-jizzingly good fight animation, fuck you spell check, don't even try to tell me that's not a real word, I haven't seen anything quite like the serene beauty that I feel when watching the swordplay in Demon Slayer. But this isn't a video about what the best animated show is this year. Right now I don't feel like debating between two
The animation is just top notch. Like, I'll give the ratings like at the end, I guess. But yeah, this is like that's like this the main point. The main point, like why it's good. Besides the simplistic story, is the animation.
fantastic looking shows when I can just wait till next year, when the Anime Awards come around again, and we can just complain about My Hero Academia winning anyway. UFO Table as a studio have always pushed the boundary when it comes to integrating CG in traditional animation. When you mention CG and anime in the same sentence, your first thought is normally but UFO Table have always been the gold standard when it comes to digital effects and composition. I remember the first time being really blown away with some of their stuff was their work in Kara no Kyokai. Not only in just how good it looked, but also during fights, where they use CG to mimic complex camera motions which would normally be impossible to hand draw. Nowadays, this camera work might be a bit too much of, "Look at me mom, I've learned how to do shaky cam!" But to put this into perspective, this came out 5 years before
Still don't get why they're doing the shaky cam and shit like that, but you know, people just do what they do.
Attack on Titan floored everyone with its dynamic camera and its ODM gear scenes. These were the CG effects we were used to seeing in 2008, and back then, this blew my fucking mind. Demon Slayer, though, has really shown their progression when it comes to their work using dynamic camera movement. What used to be a one-off effect, they can now consistently flex in this fight and that fight and that fight, to the point where I'm like, alright, you Fostable, no one likes to show off. But they're doing some really cool stuff with it. Let's take the rotating room fight as an example. There's this demon that has the power to rotate a room that the fight takes place in, so they get to play around with the camera's perspective in relation to our main character and the CG background, resulting in this mind-bending Inception-esque fight scene where the camera's following our main character as he's jumping around the floor, walls and ceiling with the changing gravity, which just look at this looks so fucking cool. Just for reference, this is what this scene looks like in the manga. It's one of those rare occurrences where you can look at the panels and say, man, this manga really isn't doing the anime justice. Honestly though, despite how impressive this looks,
Now I kind of took this for granted because like I've heard many people talk about like hey, look about the rotating anime room and animation, but it was like when I experienced and watched the fight, I was like, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good, but like hearing Gigguk say about this, I was like, I really took it for granted, and it's actually hard work to do, and they've done an amazing job. But I guess the experience is just, I guess, not as impactful. But you know, but it creates. I guess it's a nice animation.
I think the real standout is the entire aesthetic, because it not only has great animation, but it's also perfectly stylized. I am absolutely in love with the art style and how UFO Table leverages this to give every battle this unique vibe you can't really find anywhere else. See, the power system at play here revolves around a breathing technique that allows the user to exude the same energy as a certain element. Water, thunder, insects, anything is possible as long as you know how to breathe correctly. As far as I can tell, the elements coming out of the swords are just a visual representation, and metaphors aren't a new thing in anime to represent the power or feeling in a certain move, but Demon Slayer has taken this concept and turned it into an art form. You don't normally associate something like a hype fight with a beautiful painting, but that's exactly how I feel whenever I see the climax of every battle in this series.
Okay, he made a point. I said animation, but like the whole art, like the composition, the coloring. I think it's very nice. Like the whole visual aspect of this anime is just top notch. And you know what he said about UFO Table? Like I've been experiencing some of their stuff too, and I feel like I think they've done the best job of CG in anime. Like, what do you guys think? I think that's it. They've done the best CG in anime.
There's just something about the explosive thunder effects, the mesmerizing sting of an insect, or the hypnotic way the sword almost dances with the water effects on screen. It's almost like a painting in motion. The action scenes seem to come with this philosophy of how much can we polish and refine that one beautiful or explosive moment, that one satisfying slash to end it all, and this isn't just true for our main character. Some of the most memorable fights come from Zenitsu, despite the fact they only really last around a minute or two, and yet they leave such a deep impression. Because all he does is fall asleep and the demons are like, ah ha 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 ha! What a fool! He fell asleep in battle and now he's gonna die! Wait a minute, why do I hear boss music playing? And I just can't get over how damn addicting it is to see that moment because it's just so goddamn clean. And I think a big unsung hero is the sound design too. There are a few things in life that are just the perfect marriage. Red wine and steak, Nando sauce and chicken, Logan Paul's face and a fist. But I never knew that the sound of slicing swords and running water was such a perfect fit for each other because it gives me the same kind of feedback as when I do a really gratifying move in a video game and complements the clean cuts perfectly. You know that feeling you get when you watch shit like soap getting cut or something, which if you've never seen the soothing black magic that is soap getting cut, just watch. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the exact same.
No. So, no. So that's a weird fetish. That's a weird fetish, man. Okay. Just do something about it.
Feeling I get whenever anyone is slashed in this show. It's clean, it's satisfying, and it's therapeutic as fuck, man. This is as close as we're gonna get to shonen ASMR, and what I love is how the conclusions to these fights resonate with the tranquil beauty of the action that preceded it. Moments of hype are immediately followed with moments of serenity. There's a sense of liberation whenever a demon gets defeated. You get to see flashbacks from their lives as a human and the shit they went through before turning into a demon, and for a hot moment you kind of feel sorry for them. You know, if not for the tiny fact of the dozens of people they've horribly murdered. Also, to put a quick spotlight on the characters, seeing how Tanjiro acts towards the demons is kind of what makes him so endearing, and these stories give a nice sense of closure to the different demons he defeats. In shonen, you are used to seeing these pure-hearted, naive protagonists, but what sets Tanjiro apart is that he exudes that same pure-hearted energy without the naivety or childishness. He can still empathize with the demons and the troubles that have landed them on his path, while knowing that what they've done isn't something that can be forgiven. His approach to everything is actually very mature, but he is still headstrong when it comes to his own ideology and the optimistic way he sees the world. Despite having a family who was horribly murdered by demons, he's not doing this out of revenge or anger or hatred, but for a pure love for his family and a drive to make the world a better place. Of course, his motivations would be worthless if his
Okay, before we get, I guess we're going to get to the Emoto, but like I have to go down the character. This is the main character is a very unique one, and I have to agree that it feels different, and I guess like they're not as naive, and I agree they're not as naive and as like childish, and you know, like in One Piece, the Luffy is supposed to be an adult, like 17, but he acts so childish. And this Tanjiro doesn't. So yeah, that makes a difference. No offense, I love One Piece. I bought shirts, merch, just stating what my opinions are.
worth protecting. And I'm glad to say that after all the failed attempts we've seen over the years in anime, science has finally created the perfect little sister, and her name is Nezuko. This is what peak Emoto looks like. Say goodbye to all your trash tier, Oni-chan, incest crap. You want an Emoto to protect? Well, she also protects you. She takes head pats and she gives head pats. You don't even need dialogue with her because she speaks the purest language of all. cute emoto noises. And not only that, she comes neatly packaged in her own box. Like, fuck Gamer Girl bathwater and that weak-ass product. Give us something the world actually needs. I want emoto in a box. I want canned head pats, step on me simulators, isekai MILF breast milk. Alright, that last one might be a bit far. How about worst girl tears?
Okay. Now I think he's getting very excited. So let's let's forgive him and skip and see what he has to say next.
When she loses. These are the reasons why I kept coming back despite me being very iffy with the whole Monster of the Week format. It may have been formulaic, but it was a formula that worked. And if that was everything, I could have recommended this as a very solid show, but what pushed me to make this video was a moment that you could rarely find in anime. And that is, of course, the end of episode 19. You always know something special happened when an anime breaks out of the confines of our little community to start trending on Twitter, have people such as Ninja tweeting about it. And that is because this one scene is a masterpiece in a show that I never expected to be able to reach these heights. Normally in a scene such as this, I like to talk about how the writing or characters were perfectly set up to make it successfully carry such an emotional weight. But I do think the real star here is Ufotable's execution, and I can't break down the one thing that makes this scene work so well, because it's everything. I said earlier the fight seemed to have this philosophy of polishing one beautiful moment, and this was one moment that was extended and polished to the absolute limit. From the dazzling dancing and choreography that kicked the scene off, the out-of-this-world animation, the satisfying sound design giving weight to every swing, the contrasting colours with the burning fire lighting up the entire screen, the beautiful moving track that was such an anti-Sawano drop, juxtaposing layers of emotion into every frame. It was one of those rare moments I've had where a scene was beautiful enough that I was just so overcome by emotions, my body didn't know the proper way to react. Your heart probably started racing, some of you might have felt a chill down your spine, some of you maybe even cried. From what? From excitement, from sadness, from happiness, from an overwhelming sense that you were witnessing something special. The animation, the colours, the sound, the voice acting, the music, it all formed a harmonious symphony of elements that when put together created a moment so beautiful, so perfectly constructed. There's no other way I can describe this other than it felt like I was watching a work of art. God, I love anime.
Okay, that's the end, and I guess like the last scene really gives me chills even when I was watching the anime. So yeah, I guess I mean like it's very good. I think that was like the best scene in Demon Slayer anime, and uh, I guess like Ufotable really does it. So like I guess for the Demon Slayer, I gave it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Well, because I guess as a story wise, like it's a 7, but I have to give one extra point for the animation because it's just top notch. Now I've heard people saying that it's a masterpiece or it's amazing, worth 9 or worth 10 out of 10, and I have to stop because like wait, the story is basic. All they've done is just good animation, good execution. I just think that like when the story does not pushes it, when the story does not reach a certain or beyond a certain standard, that it doesn't deserve a 10 out of 10. So yeah, I guess thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.